Now, here's my thing. I've been reading a lot of comments from you guys that tell me, Tommy, it's not realistic for you to be able to make 60% of your money every single year for the past 4 years, okay? Now, what I want to tell you guys is this, right? It is completely realistic, right? When you're taking like maybe $5,000, you turn into 10,000, then you turn into 15,000, then into 20,000. That's very realistic, okay? Now, here's my thing, right? A lot of people out there, they have this belief that the only type of investments you can actually do that make you some type of money is stocks and real estate. Now, here's my thing. There are a ton of other investments that you can actually participate in that earn you a ton more money. Now, I saw a very funny comment out there that told me, Tommy, listen, you're not making this money. I think it was on the Dave Ramsey video that I made, like the Dave Ramsey is a scam video. It said, Tommy, that's not true. The only way you can possibly be doing that is by selling drugs, because the only real investment out there is a 7% return from like the index funds, stuff like that, right? And here's my thing. Here's my response video to that, right? Because I've been thinking about it over and over and over again, and I've got to the conclusion that a lot of people just don't have the information, and that's why they think that it's not possible. So I kind of came up with 3 categories, right? Before I even get to that, I really want to say something, guys. I want to say thank you for getting the channel to, I think we're at 2,500 subscribers now, but who cares about that, right? What I care about most is like the watch time, right? It means that you guys are watching the content. It means that you guys care that way, because you can have like 1 million subscribers and then you come in the video and it's like 1 view and like 1 person watched it and it was like you when you were like uploading the video, you know what I mean? Doesn't matter. What matters is the watch time. And today we actually hit a milestone of 100,000 minutes watched worth of the content, basically in like the past 28 days, right? What this means is, to put it into perspective, right? It means that in the past like 28 days, right? That's 100,000 minutes. Divided by 60, we get around 1,666 hours worth of the content actually watched. And if we divide it by 2 hours, that's around 833 like full length movies, like full 2-hour long movies. So I might be like maybe like 10 minutes, 17 minutes at max. So I want to say thank you for that, guys. That's like super crazy. I never thought I was gonna get like 100,000. Actually, I thought it. You know, I thought about it a lot, and I knew I was gonna get it. That's why I have all these goals here. You know, but not really surprised, but very happy. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Now, here's where we get kind of spicy, okay? Here's where everything actually comes down, right? I kind of made 3 categories to go right back into the video, and these 3 categories like talk about investing, okay? Now, there's active investing, moderate investing, and then there's like kind of like passive investment, right? And a lot of people think like, oh, what I want is passive. Passive is like the greatest thing. But in reality, the investment that you think is passive that millionaires are kind of making the most of, like their most money off, is actually not really passive, okay? Because it's kind of like active, all right? And here's my thing. A lot of people out there might say, Tommy, my goal is, right, because I get active income, right? There's a difference between active income and active returns, all right? Completely different, all right? I want to make sure you guys understand that. Active income would be like, for example, I work a job. I'm trading my time for money at this point, right? Or I'm trading my intellect for money, all right? And here's my thing, right? When it comes to active returns, right? That's kind of like what I do. That's kind of how I get, like, by the way, guys, when I say like 53% returns every single year, that's kind of being modest, you know, because I had a year where I only did 53%. So that I always use that year as if like, oh my gosh, like that's what I usually do. But in reality, I can flip my money between 2 to 3 times every single year. And I've done it so far every single year for the past 4 years. So I'm pretty sure I know what I'm doing. Now, here's the thing. I also got a comment that told me, Tommy, that's not realistic. That's not possible. This and that is too risky, blah, blah, blah. You can't use that. You can't use that. Listen to this, right, guys? I learned that there are basically like 2 types of people in the world, right? The people that do, people that don't, and the people that just think, all right? I think I just put in a 3rd category in there, right? Who cares, right? But here's the thing. If you know what you're doing, right, then you're good to go. If you don't know what you're doing, then you're not good to go. And if you think you know what you're doing, but you really don't, then you are not good to go. And a lot of people out here, they come watch my videos. They also watch Dave Ramsey. They also watch Gary Vee. They also watch Grant Cardone, Ty Lopez, all these people. What is his name? Like, Stephen Graham. Like, I'm passing his name like crazy, but I like that guy a lot. But here's the thing, right? You watch all these videos, you come to the channel, and then you're kind of like, oh my gosh, like, debt is not good for you. This is not good. This is not good. But the way I kind of grew up, and the books I've read, like I read Robert Kiyosaki, like this man's entire outlook on life is like, oh, get into debt so you can do what you want to do. That's not what I personally do. I only use debt to get capital injections into my business because I don't want to have to get a regular job to do that, because I used to have to do that. I get the capital injection, I make the returns, and then I just like, it's like kind of like a circle, okay? So imagine you get a $10,000 capital injection from like a cash advance, right? From a credit card, right? You get this money, you invest it, you get like a 53% return, maybe double your money, and then you take whatever the capital was, which was 10,000, and then you put it back into the credit card. You don't pay any interest on that card, and basically you just keep the return. You keep the money that you just made. If you made 50%, then you just made like $5,000, and that's money that you can actually keep, right? That's how I work. That's how I do it. For anyone that thinks that it's super risky, guess what? It is. It is super risky. How many times have I failed doing that? 0. Why? Because I know what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing. I've been doing it for 4 to 5 years. I'm getting pretty old, by the way. It's not normal, but yeah, I've been doing it for a while. So it's kind of like if you're like a skater, right? And like you're skating every single day, you're doing ollies, flip kicks, or whatever it is. And I come to you, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's like too risky. You're gonna break your ankle. I'm like, and you're like, oh, I've been doing this for like 40 years, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I know what I'm doing. I know exactly how to like flip the board. I know how exactly how to do every single thing, right? But if it's like a newbie, then I'm gonna tell you like, hey, maybe don't try to do a kick flip on your first try. You're gonna like fall down and you're gonna like break your ankle. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how it works. So let's get right into the video, okay? So what I want to talk about now is what's active returns, moderate return, and then like passive returns, right? For passive returns, I think like for me personally, because this is a video solely on my experience, because everybody seems to have an opinion on my experience. Here's the thing, right? I think like bonds, like savings accounts interest, and any type of interest that is kind of like very low returns, okay? Like for example, like when you do savings and bonds, the returns on that is kind of like 0, okay? Unless you get like one of the savings accounts that I'm always recommending here and you get like 2%. But basically those investments are like fully secured. Why? Because if anything happens, you're like $250,000 secured, okay? Because the government says like, oh, if a bank goes down, we'll cover $250,000 worth of your savings, so don't worry, all right? And most people, they don't have $250,000. If you have $1 million, you can just open up 4 different bank accounts and then you're pretty good to go, all right? So I just want to make sure you guys understand that. That's kind of like inactive. That's not active investing. That's kind of like inactive, like super passive, all right? That's not what millionaires call passive income, though. I want to make sure you guys understand that. That's not passive income. Then we come into the moderate stage, right? Moderate would be like index funds, stocks, and that's kind of about it, you know, like stocks and index funds and stuff like that, right? Because I want to make sure you guys understand what I'm saying, right? This is what people talk about when, like, for example, right, I have index funds, I have portfolios, I have stocks, but when it comes to these things, I'm usually just like checking like the prices every day. I say like, hey, they're performing well, I'm gonna buy more today, I'm gonna sell more today. Well, I don't really sell my investments because I always want to get to that long-term tax credit or whatever, so I never really sell them. Like that's like really long term, but it's kind of like moderate because I'm always like putting money towards it, okay? And the return is like 7%, right? So think about this, right? The inactive is like 2%, 3% at most, and then the moderate is kind of like 7%, right? And that's where people usually think that investment actually ends, all right? Everybody thinks like, oh my gosh, the only investment actually out there are real estate and then like stocks. That's all you can do. Anything that gets a higher return than this, then it must be that you're like a robber or you're selling drugs, something like that, right? And that's not true, because think about this, right? When you put money into these people's hands, right? Because these are professionals, right? You put money into the stock market, they invest the money for you, you put it into a business, you're buying a percentage of a business, okay? I want you guys to understand that. When you put money into like banks for savings accounts, stuff like that, they take your money, they use it for loans, they use it for, like, they leverage the hell out of your money, okay? And people tell me, you're so risky, but the banks themselves leverage the hell out of your money, like put it forth for like credit cards, for loans, whatever they need funding for, okay? And you might get 3% back from that, and they're gonna get between 35 to 25%. Remember, because the average APR for a credit card is 25%. A regular loan, 10%. A house mortgage, 4%. Okay, so they're always going to be making like twice, triple what you actually make from that investment. All right, and then we reach active investments. Okay, this means real estate, passive income from real estate. That's where passive income actually comes in. The active investments. Okay, it's kind of like real estate, selling things, investing into businesses, being a capital injectionist, peer-to-peer lending. And I'm going to explain a few of those, okay? So for example, if you do peer-to-peer lending where you lend money to other people and they're actually giving you a return, the return can be much higher. I think the legal rate in New York is around 16%. So you can actually make 16% of your money by lending it like peer-to-peer. And I don't mean, because every single person out there, this is my thing, right? If you got to understand something, right? If you use someone else's entire infrastructure or system, they're gonna minimize your risk, and in return you're gonna minimize your return also. But if you do it yourself, you're maximizing the risk, but you're also maximizing the return. That's how it works, okay? So if you go peer-to-peer on your own, right, you can take on a lot of risks, but you get a lot of the returns, okay? That's how it works, and you can do this yourself. It is legal. Just look it up, bro. Like, everyone out there thinks like if you're not investing with a bank, if you're not doing this with the market, like it's not true, okay? When it comes to real estate, listen, man, like, for example, you invest like $50,000 into like buying like a fourplex, whatever. It costs like $300,000. So this is some quick math, okay? So if you invested $300,000, right? That's the price of the fourplex or whatever, and you're putting down 50,000, and then you get 30 years, right, to actually pay off the entire thing. When you divide by 360, your monthly payments around $700 plus tax, plus insurance, plus everything else that comes into this property. Let's say $1,500, right? And you're charging per each apartment around $1,000, right? $1,000 per door. That's 1,000 times 4 minus your monthly cost of $1,500. You're getting around $2,500 pure profit cash flow. Okay, we times that by 12, right? Because it's every single month. You get 30,000 back, right? We divide 30,000 by 50,000, and then we get around 60% return, right? And that's how it kind of works, okay? So if you're telling me that the only way you can kind of make a 60% return is by stealing or robbing or like being a theft or whatever you want to call it, it's not true. And also, something else I want to mention, right? If you don't have the money to invest into real estate, right? If you don't have the money to do peer-to-peer lending, right? If you don't have the money to be an angel capitalist, all right? If you don't have the money for any of those things, right? One good investment that's active is called starting a business, right? Tommy, I don't have the time to start a business. I don't have the money. I don't have the expertise. I don't know what to do. Okay, the way you minimize the risk is by understanding how business works. The way you understand how business works, don't talk to me about a mentor. You don't need a mentor, okay? They help you, obviously. But my first mentor was literally T. Hart, right? And if you know who this guy is, and you probably know who he is, right? I didn't meet him in person. Like, he was a mentor from a book. My second mentor was Warren Buffett. All right. My third mentor was Robert Kiyosaki. My fourth mentor was this guy from the 2000 BC or something like that, right? From The Richest Man in Babylon. Okay. So all these mentors that I've had, I've never really met. One of my only active mentors is probably like my uncle, and I give him a call like once a month, okay? And that's kind of how it works. But if you're waiting to get a mentor, if you're waiting to get money, waiting to get anything, you're going to fail, you're going to mess up, right? Because no matter how much people actually mentor you, if you don't put in the work, and you always need advice, and it's kind of like babysitting, okay? No one wants to be babysitted. No one wants to be your babysitter. You're an adult, so make things happen for yourself. The way you kind of like analyze everything and actually not make failures, because I read every single book out there. Well, not every single one, okay? But I read a lot of books out there, and I know exactly how Rockefeller messed up in the beginning. I know how Warren Buffett messed up in the beginning. I know how every single person that I kind of analyzed, like Robert Kiyosaki, I know how all these people messed up, even Donald Trump. I know how all of them messed up, right? So I know the mistakes not to make, all right? That's kind of how you learn, all right? So here's my strategy. When I first started, right, my business, right, because I don't really talk about what type of business I have because I don't want to do that yet, okay? It's a big surprise when I get maybe to 100,000 subscribers or something like that, all right? But here's the thing. When I first started, when I got my first loan, well, not my first loan, right, because I had a loan. I took a loan to start my business. I started my business, and that business is working like very well. But I remember that business only works around like 3 days a week, okay? So it only takes around 3 days a week of my time. So I have an entire 5 days to actually make more money, okay? So what I used to do is this, right? I used to literally take $200, all right? And I used to go to Goodwill, all right? I used to go to Goodwill, and I used to buy a whole bunch of items, right? And I used to check them out on my phone on eBay. And I used to buy, like, for example, like glass globes for $3 and sell them on eBay for $73. I bought these things. Check this out. I bought these things. These are like Chinese, like action. I don't know what it is. Like this is like from war or something like that, right? Very rare stuff. You know, I bought them for like $3 each. I have 4 of them. 3 times 4, that's 12. I sold them for like $80 on eBay, and they got damaged, so I glued them back, and now I'm gonna put them on my wall. But it's like very easy to make more money, yo. It's not really that hard. So for anyone out there that's telling me, Tommy, it's not possible, it's not good, it's not realistic, you can't make so much money in 1 year. Well, here's the thing. You got to think about something. By the way, there's something else that I did to actually make a lot more money, all right? I did drop shipping, eBay drop shipping. Now, I don't recommend that now because you're using somebody else's like website like eBay, and eBay's not really that, you know what I'm saying? So here's the thing. If you do Shopify drop shipping, it's actually much more effective, but it does take more time and also takes more money. It might say like, oh, you don't need any money, blah, 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 but you need money to like advertise and stuff like that, right? So here's the thing. I made around $20,000 in my first 2 months of actually doing drop shipping, okay? And my profit margin was around like 30 to 40%, right? If you ask anyone in the drop shipping business, if they have those type of margins, they'll tell you no. Their margins are usually between 3.5% to 10% max, okay? How I got to 30 to 40%, it's a little trade secret, right? Because I'm always thinking about how I can kind of finesse the game and actually make more money, make more profits in a very good way, okay? That benefits me and benefits the customer all at once. So here's my thing. If you think anything is impossible, it's because you haven't tried it. And if you've tried it and you failed, I got this great quote, right, from Grant Cardone today. He said, basically this, right? He said, if you put the right information into anything, then you'll get the answer that you want, right? So if I put like 5 times 6, I'm going to get 30, right? Gonna get 30, 100%, right? But if I'm putting 6 times 9 and I'm trying to get 30, I'm not going to get it. If I'm putting 7 times 8, I'm trying to get 30, I'm not going to get it, okay? So what you got to do is get the right information inside of your head so you can get the results that you want to get, okay? So if you've been failing at doing something over and over and over and over again, it's because you're not getting the right information and you're not doing it the right way, okay? Because if you do it the right way, then you will get the results that you want. Kind of like I just did. Like I've been doing videos, they're very niche, you know? And now I got 100,000 like minutes viewed of my like content, which is crazy, you know. It took me like a whole year, like last year. I started YouTube like 3 years ago, by the way, if you haven't noticed. All right, so I've been doing this for a while. So guys, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, go ahead and subscribe and like and comment. If you don't believe anything that I have to say, then comment down below what's not realistic about this. And if you don't, you know, what can I say, man? There's a lot of people out there that tell me, by the way, there's a lot of people out there with very self-destructive beliefs, okay, that they tell me, Tommy, listen, I'm poor, I just can't do anything, it doesn't work for me. Do you want to make a budget? Do you need some help with that? Nah, it's not worth it, bro. Like, it's just not gonna work. I'm just gonna do what I gotta do. I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to change, you change. If you don't want to change, you don't have to change. You're an adult. I'll see you guys next time, though, on the next video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and by the way, comment down below any video you want me to do. I will do it probably like the next day. So if you comment a video today, I'll probably do it the next day or the next day after that. Pretty fast with it. I'll see you guys next time on the next video, and peace.
You've got to start at the bottom if you're ever gonna reach the top. You've gotta watch all the seeds you sow.